Hi, this is Corey Shore, the Kennewick School District GLAD coach, and I'm here to share with you GLAD tip number 3, using GLAD for social emotional learning. And today we'll be talking about a super simple strategy that's very effective called the 10-2. I'm sure you've seen this meme before. When we're face-to-face, we are asking students, please don't talk during instruction, and then yet in the Zoom environment, I'm sure at some point all of you have experienced this. You're begging somebody to please say something and participate. At this point in the year, students might still be feeling timid about being on Zoom with the camera rolling, let alone sharing an answer out loud. So how do we make students feel safe and want to participate? Using what we call in GLAD a 10-2 can help students feel confident in sharing their answers and thoughts and ideas. So what is a 10-2? In the classroom, when we present our direct instruction, usually for GLAD classroom, we use an input chart and we chunk the instruction. So after about 5 to 10 minutes, hence the 10, we provide a prompt or a question and have students turn and talk to a partner for about 2 minutes. During this 2 minutes, they answer the question and negotiate for meaning with their partner. Negotiating for meaning is simply a way to say that they're trying out the new language and thinking through their ideas out loud. Of course, the 10 and the 2 are times, and those times can vary depending on your grade level. Especially in a virtual environment, you may not want to be talking for 10 minutes of instruction. You may want to keep it to, for example, a 5-2 instead of a 10-2. Stopping and having a 10-2 is an important step of instruction because research shows that our brains need time to process and sort through new material. It gives students a chance to talk out their ideas with their peers, clarify for each other, and make connections to background knowledge. The teacher can listen in and call on students afterward, which provides excellent formative assessment feedback for the teacher. So why would we want to use a 10-2? It provides opportunities to negotiate for meaning. It helps students deepen their understanding of the new complex concepts that we're introducing to them. It increases their comprehension, both listening comprehension and reading, because they're being exposed to the academic language. And it allows for metacognition, or thinking about their thinking, and academic discourse, which is trying out new academic language. So how does a 10-2 support social emotional learning? Research shows that learning is a social process in which learners' identity and language knowledge are constructed collaboratively during the course of interaction. That means our students need to collaborate to develop answers and create understanding and resolve problems. We need to do this in a risk-free environment. So providing 2 minutes for students to turn and talk to each other and practice that academic language and concepts will help them feel a little less anxious when they're sharing ideas with a peer rather than in front of the whole class. This lowers their affective filter, which is kind of like their anxiety level, and helps them feel safe. In turn, this all builds self-esteem. They can be reassured that their ideas are correct, or maybe they need a little more information. And as a learner, they can build on that new knowledge. Also, academically, having this little break to turn and talk to each other will provide students a time so they are not feeling as overwhelmed because they periodically have a chance to ask questions or sort through their ideas. Another way to help students feel even better about sharing ideas is to consider giving sentence frames that will give students a sentence starter for their answer, and these can be developed by the teacher depending on the question or prompt. So for example, a student could use a sentence starter, I see the connection between, and then fill in the blank with their partner. Or blank and blank are related because we think that any sentence starter or sentence frame can work as long as it's using academic language and related to your question, prompt, or content. So how can we use a 10-2 with synchronous instruction? First, let's remember that this is a new learning environment for our kiddos. They've spent years, some of them, in a face-to-face classroom, and so this is a whole new learning environment. So we need to give them time to learn how to learn this way, lots of time. During Zoom, I would recommend starting small, using simple ways for students to participate and respond to 10-2s. Maybe they're just using a gesture at first, such as a thumbs up or thumbs down, or maybe they are answering questions in the chat if they're able to write or type. This at first doesn't require much collaboration, but at least we're giving students the chance to reflect on instruction and participate and practice sharing ideas. If you haven't heard of Pear Deck yet, this is a free add-on from Google that helps make your slide deck interactive for students. Some teachers are already using Kahoot and Quizlet as little ways for students to be quizzed on what they know. And the breakout rooms is where collaboration can really happen. You can truly have students negotiate for meaning. To do this, you could use some instruction time to instruct, and then put a question or prompt on your slide deck or in the chat. You could also send it out as an announcement while students are in the breakout rooms. Put students in breakout rooms in groups of 2 and give them a few minutes to answer your prompt and talk about it. Have them come back automatically to the main room. Then you need to hold them accountable. You can call on a few students to answer orally or type something in the chat that they've heard. It's a good idea at first to give them the chance to choose between typing in the chat or answering orally. That is the first step at helping them feel comfortable at using this technology. What about a 10-2 with asynchronous instruction? One idea is to use Padlet or another chat website. This is a screenshot of Padlet. In Padlet, the teacher can pose a question and then students can respond. So they can respond to each other or they can simply respond to the teacher's prompt. The teacher could also share a link to a shared document where students are sharing their own ideas. And if the teacher feels their students would be more comfortable sharing oral responses, they could use Flipgrid, where the teacher could post a video of the prompt and students could create a quick video to answer that prompt. With asynchronous instruction, there will be less oral collaboration between the students, but at least they're getting a chance to read each other's ideas. You may be wondering, what's the difference between a brain break and a 10-2? First, they are both important. A brain break is where we need to get up and walk away from our work or our learning and wiggle and move so that our brains can be refreshed. Get some blood going back to our brains. A 10-2, however, is used during instruction and is intentional to reflect, negotiate for meaning, and by doing these things, it helps our brain organize new information. So the 10-2 is intentional, used during instruction, and a brain break would be between instructional slideshows. This was our last social emotional learning tip video, so I hope it has provided you with some ideas for how to get your students participating in a safe environment. If you have any questions, please email me at corey.shore@ksd.org. You can also check out our GLAD Facebook at KSD GLAD. Thank you and have a great day.